To this story now, Water and Sanitation Minister Pemmy Majodina has slammed municipalities for supply problems in Gauteng. Numerous areas have battled dry taps in recent times. Majodina says the province's water woes are self-inflicted.
Gauteng is losing a lot of water because of the leaks, illegal connections, non-revenue water. And we then said, Gauteng, please sort out this. You might see crisis soon. So they did not adhere to that. Up to a level where on the 18th of September, having said a lot of notices to municipalities, on the 18th of September, we had no other option except to restrict water to be on level 1 in all municipalities of Gauteng, because the water that they is cleaned and is unaccounted is too much, and therefore their reservoirs are going down, our dams are going down for water that could have been attended to. So this is why I say this is a self-inflicted pain, but it needed a political will where the leadership of municipality must prevail and play their role over officials of municipalities.
Well, let's get more now on this, and particularly the state of municipalities in Gauteng. And we speak to the South African Local Government Association's Provincial Deputy Chairperson, Nonkoliso Tundzi-Hawu. Ms. Nonkoliso, good evening to you, and thank you very much for your time. How do you respond to the Minister of Water and Sanitation, who says the water crisis that residents are experiencing in Gauteng at the moment is self-created because of municipal officials who simply are not doing their jobs?
Thank you very much, Trolley. Good evening to yourself as well as the newsroom viewers. Let me start by acknowledging the comments from the Minister and also appreciate that even though we have identified that challenge, which is not a challenge of one municipality in Gauteng, is a challenge of all municipalities. And there have been efforts to cite the few on those efforts that are meant to address the issue as it has been identified. There's a forum that is convened by the Premier of Gauteng, which is inclusive of all the executive mayor in Gauteng. But basically, the issue is more of the aging infrastructure that all the municipalities are currently experiencing, including the bypass of the water meters by the consumers. But I can assure you and the viewers that the matter has been receiving attention in that most of the municipalities are implementing the program of installing prepaid water meters as a way of addressing the matter. But the bigger issue and the bigger challenge is the issue of the aging infrastructure that all the municipalities are facing currently. That leads to that huge amount of water that is being lost.
Yeah, okay. We'll deal with the aging infrastructure, which I think you are putting up very prominently as the major problem. Let's deal with those that can easily, I suppose, be attended to and fixed so that clean water does not go to waste. Leaks and illegal water connections. Why are municipalities failing dismally at stemming that?
Actually, it's various issues. Of course, I'm not justifying why programs are not implemented. But in the main, as the municipalities are implementing these programs, there are a lot of challenges that they are facing towards, for instance, when we talk of the installation of prepaid water meters. That program is not necessarily an easy program to implement. It needs a lot of ground laying before you do it, because as I indicated previously, there are some consumers who bypass the meters. So you need to do a study which will tell you how many consumers have bypassed the meters, as well as also replacing those meters with the new systems that are meant to reduce the issue of the people making it easier to bypass those meters. So it's a very complex issue, but what I can say is that all of the municipalities, they are committed to ensure that those programs are implemented, including making sure that there's public participation to make the consumers aware that we are going to install new meters in a particular area, and including the issues of people volunteering to say my meter is faulty, let it be replaced. So those are the programs that municipalities are implementing. I don't want to go beyond the issue that even when those municipalities are committing to that, there are also issues of not enough staff complement to ensure that it is done within a short space of time. It is usually taking a long time to be done due to the fact that not all municipalities do have the capacity to ensure that those programs are effectively implemented. But there is a commitment and there's an effort that is put to ensure that these programs that are meant to reduce water losses are attended to.
You say in some instances it may be staff complement that is not enough. In other words, it's manpower, people that are not available to attend to these problems. What about competence levels? Because that has been a major complaint. And I think this is why the minister has simply had enough. She's lost it because she's saying there's been meeting after meeting, but nothing seems to change. So have you looked at the competence of the staff? Are you there?
Yes, I'm there, but I have missed the last conversation.
All right.
I only heard the issue of what are we doing when the issues of competency are picked up.
Indeed, that is the question I'm asking you. Simply, you are saying there's a problem of not enough staff. I'm saying to you, let's put that aside for a moment and talk about whether they are competent. The ones who are there, are they competent to do the job?
Most municipalities do have competent staff. Where there are issues of incompetency, there's always an intervention program to say, let's piggyback from the municipality that is best doing that particular program as a way of backing up where those issues are picked up. But it's not many of those instances where you would find that there's incompetence.
And then the aging infrastructure. That's the one element that you seem to be putting up as a major issue. What role do municipalities play in ensuring that that infrastructure is revamped?
Currently, all the municipalities are facing financial challenges. They don't have that muscle to ensure that there's replacement of the infrastructure. We are currently more reactive in repairing what is currently available. Should there be possibilities that efforts are put together, all the spheres of government come together and bring a plan that will ensure that this issue of aging infrastructure is dealt with. Remember, municipalities are only reliable on the revenue that they collect from the consumers. Most of the consumers are unemployed. Now, it is very difficult to commit to capital projects from the income that is collected from the revenue of the municipality, except when they receive some grants. And when receiving those grants, there are priorities that need to be looked at. But this issue of the infrastructure, it's something that is a long-term solution. It cannot be done overnight because it's infrastructure and it's capital project. And if municipalities are all financially strangled in terms of making provisions in their budget to ensure that there's replacement of those pipes that are currently not suitable because of the lifespan, it becomes a serious challenge. Hence the issue of the summit. It was meant to ensure that we bring together ideas and ensure that amongst the interventions that are going to be done, you categorize them on a short-term, medium, as well as long-term solutions, so that all of us, we put together ideas and ensure that service delivery issues, including this water crisis, is properly attended to and it is given a priority that it deserves.
I'm going to highlight one of the municipalities that has had a major problem over time, to a point where Eskom resorted to attaching its bank accounts. Now, service delivery simply ground to a halt. I'm talking about Mfuleni. That municipality, why has it taken so long to solve just the question around what is owed to Eskom and committing that this is the amount that we're going to give Eskom every month until it is successfully paid off? You even had National Treasury coming in to assist that municipality. They were placed on a particular program, but they had to be taken out. What happened there?
Only, like I indicated, municipalities face serious challenges. It was so unfortunate that whilst there were those arrangements, we found the Mfuleni municipality's account being attached, but those discussions are still, they have been brought back to ensure that that type of inconvenience does not happen again, because it does not necessarily affect the municipality.
Whose fault was
affects
it?
the community as a whole, because...
Whose fault was it?
I did not hear you on that one.
The question is, whose fault was it that the municipality had to be taken out of a program that was meant to assist them by National Treasury? Because clearly someone within the municipal administration either was not doing their job. Why did it have to get to that?
For now, Polly, I wouldn't be able to point fingers to individuals. But all what I can say is that Mfuleni municipality has a historical issue in relation to the Eskom account. That's why they were put in the program, and then in the middle of the program, they were taken out, and subsequent to that, they found themselves in a situation where the account is now attached, and they were not able to access funds to deal with other issues. But for me, seated here as the deputy chair of Salga, pointing fingers is something that I wouldn't really want to for now, until such time that we know exactly where the weaknesses were and be able to address those issues. And surely it's not an individual contribution. It is different people who are supposed to put effort, your political responsibilities, as well as the administrative responsibilities, including other stakeholders that are involved on the issues of ensuring that we have services that are delivered to the communities. Salga as being part of those stakeholders. This is where I can really emphasize and be able to respond to that question.
All right. And here is how I'm going to sum up what you have said, Deputy Chairperson. And it is that for a resident of Mfuleni watching the conversation between you and I right now, I'm resorting in my mind to say, first of all, you're trying to protect the people that are running this municipality, because at the end of the day, you have an executive mayor, and apart from the executive mayor, who is a very important figure, you have the municipal manager, who the buck stops with. Those two people in Mfuleni, with this problem of Eskom becoming so intractable, those people should have been fired by now. Do you not agree?
People can only be fired following process, Polly. You really,
No.
even if you can want to, but if you are not able to gather facts and based on the facts you follow procedure, then it's a futile exercise to say, I'm chasing you out. What needs to happen is that the Mfuleni issue, as it is receiving attention, at the ultimate end of it, it will tell you what consequence management needs to be effected. For now, it will be very prematurely for us to say, Mr. So or Miss So and Councillor so and so are at fault, because we are still looking at the issues and ensuring that the priority is to ensure that that account which was attached is now released so that we are able to deliver service. Then the rest will come later to look at the issues. Where did we go wrong?
Nonkoliso Tundzi-Hawu, we are going to have to agree to disagree on this one, but it's where we're going to have to end the conversation. I'm not convinced. I think that you're protecting these individuals, and that's why people are suffering, because you have people who simply are not competent to do their jobs. If they are competent, they're refusing to do their jobs. It's one of the two. Honestly, it's that simple. Do you want to respond to that, perhaps?
Totally, I think let's agree to disagree, really, because it does not hold any water. I know the background from which you are coming, but for now, as Salga, we can't point fingers. All what we need to do is to bring solutions to the table, because as that account was attached, it has a huge implications on the communities. That what was preoccupying ourselves as Salga, as well as other stakeholders, the Premier's office included, in ensuring that that matter receives an urgent attention. So I would agree with you that let's agree to disagree on the matter, especially when there's a feeling that we could have acted. We are not saying there's not going to be an action against whoever is at fault, but for now the focus is not really about that.
Thank you very much for your time. Nonkoliso Tundzi-Hawu is the South African Local Government Association Provincial Deputy Chairperson in Gauteng.